Hello, everybody.
How's everyone
Let's
doing?
see. Hey, good, mate.
Hey,
Good. How are
good,
you?
good, good. How are you?
Yates? Good, are
I'm
you?
doing well.
Awesome. Awesome. How many wheels have we got there?
I've had my morning coffee,
We got
so I'm good for
we got
now.
5. I'm still enjoying mine. Like that's a pretty big cup.
It's
Just saying.
a little late
Yeah.
for coffee here, but I got some iced tea. So
It's
Ooh.
never too late for coffee.
Nice.
Never
Nice.
too late.
Right, let's get some viewers up in here.
I do have this recording now, by the way. So
Recording.
Oh,
Awesome.
good stuff.
it is recording. So we are good to go on that front.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's get this underway then.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Personally,
Good
I'm Sam
evening.
Lord.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to Side Note. Hello to everybody, not good evening.
Well, you said good morning, so I got to
joining me-
counter that.
Joining me on this side is the awesome Speed Demon, and below me here, Yakes87.
What's up?
Together we've come around about circles, and we're going to bring you a meet and greet, a side note, a news and information, a platform chat as best we can, as open as we can, with the exception of personal and in-depth opinions. And
As much as
Yeah.
possible.
obviously as much as possible. So,
Except me.
um,
Because
so-
fuck you guys.
so to get started, what we might do, we might touch base with Yakes and get his feelings on Glimesh, how he found it, how he came over, what he feels about it, and we'll go from there. And then obviously we'll touch on with Speed and myself. So, Yakes, take it away, man. Tell
All
us
right.
what
Well-
was it you found out, or how did you find out about it, and what brought you to Glimesh?
So I have actually been streaming myself for about 3 years now at this point, over on another site, and I was basically streaming to sort of like an empty room. I was kind of like not feeling like streaming anymore. Like I would fire up a stream, I would be live for about 30 minutes and be like, "Oh fuck this," and I'd shut it off, and then we go. And then I actually had a friend of mine, who's actually a mutual friend of yours, Lord. And he was like, "Well, have you ever tried or heard of Glimesh?" And I was like, "No, I've not really heard of this platform." So I did some research on it. I kind of looked into it, and I was kind of hesitant at first because it was, a smaller platform. But I mean, I was hooked right from that first stream. I had so many like new people popping in and saying hello and telling me how entertained they were, and for me, it revitalized my passion for streaming, my love for streaming. And ever since then, I've tried to do streams pretty much 5 to 6 days out of the week. I try to do daily, but nobody's perfect. So I try to stream as much as I can because it's just super fun to get involved. The community
Nice.
here is awesome.
So what is it that like what do you feel is the main draw card for you and Glimesh? Like what obviously you said you're on another platform.
Yes.
But what's the main draw card? What was the point for you here?
Honestly, it was just having new faces, people to pop in and chat to. I mean, that social interaction, that community engagement was kind of what hooked me in and got me, more involved with the platform. Is just I like the community here. Like you can go into anybody's stream and say hello, and you'll be welcomed. And anybody can pop into my stream, they can say hello, and everybody's welcome. Like I have not felt like from either the platform or streams in my time that I've been here that people are unwelcome. Like you go anywhere and everybody's welcome. Everybody's happy to see you. And it's such a great feeling. And if anybody is out there, struggling with streaming, struggling to find that sense of community, that sense of engagement, like Glimesh is a great place because it changed my outlook on streaming for the better. And I think it can for other people as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So what is the what's up, Steve? Sorry.
No. I totally agree with that. Glimesh is definitely one of those communities where pretty much anyone is just accepted.
Yeah.
Do you think
Like-
that's because it's a small community right now though?
Well, I think that's more beneficial to it. Is that
Yeah.
because it is such a small community, it's almost like it's a large family, but it's a small community, so everyone is looking out for each other. Everyone's trying to make this platform sort of grow and be successful.
I mean,
Yeah, that makes
So-
sense.
if you call it a family, Vin
thought-
Diesel's probably going to show up soon.
Yeah, exactly. with the charger out the back door. No, I mean that makes sense.
You,
Like,
you don't need metrics when you've got family.
I'm guessing Yakes, the other site, we're talking Twitch, obviously,
Yes.
and you obviously
Redacted.
didn't feel the same.
They're
You obviously didn't feel
redacted,
the
yeah.
same. You obviously didn't feel the same connection with the platform as such, as opposed
No.
to, the actual basis of what you do.
I didn't, because when I was over on that platform, I almost felt like a number. I didn't really feel like a member of any sort of community or anything like that. It was just another stream that's live on the platform. Like there was at no point were the tools given to me to improve my stream from that platform. All the features, all the tools they had were for the people at the top. There was no way for smaller channels to actually grow on that platform at all. And that's just what I felt. I felt buried. I felt demoralized. It felt like, my content wasn't entertaining. And I started, it really like added a bunch of self-doubt to myself. It was actually very negative on my mental health streaming over there, because I kept like double checking, like, am I actually funny? Is this the right game to play? Is this the right time to stream? Like, it was just all these questions and no answers. And it was so demoralizing that I'm so happy not there.
I think over on Twitch, it became more about metrics as a smaller
Yes.
streamer.
Yeah.
Because you're more focused on, are people watching me? Am I going to actually get somewhere on the platform? It became this focus around numbers. And that becomes overwhelming at one stage. Like, and it's corrupting too. Like, those numbers can easily corrupt a small streamer, and then they start getting desperate. And start doing things that they normally wouldn't do in order to succeed.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, the average person would probably stream, 6 to 8 hours, on other platforms that you're saying, like Twitch and stuff. You kind of got to stretch that to 10, 12 hours to try and make those metrics work. So, yeah, I totally get that. You kind of take that small stream and push them out of their boundary. And, I mean, what started you streaming, Yakes? Were you streaming because you want to be big, or are you streaming just purely to have fun and share a journey?
So I actually started off making YouTube videos. I actually started by recording gameplay videos. I started Let's Play series of different games, and this was back in 2016. So this is 5 years ago. Because the place I was living at the time, I didn't really have the bandwidth to start streaming, even though I wanted to. And I was also part of my main draw was I was getting involved with more iRacing, and I really wanted to stream more of my racing so that people could check that out. And it was really just tough, and that's kind of what I got into it. And then over time, streaming, like I said, streaming to an empty room for 3 years and never feeling like you could have people wander in, it definitely gets to you at a certain point. But I mean, that's where it started, was just I wanted to just make videos. I wanted to try to do something creative, and that kind of led me to live streaming, because I felt like my commentary was starting to improve in the video aspect. And I thought, because when I was doing my videos, it was kind of just like a live stream anyway, but instead of being live, it was just recorded and edited. And I'm like, well, if I'm doing this, why don't I just do it live? And then that's kind of where I came to. It wasn't like I was doing anything special for the videos. It was just record, trim, upload.
It was just for fun. It was just something to, as a little side hobby, and just to keep sort of keep on top of it, just keep yourself active on something else.
It was never about money. It was never about numbers. It was, from day one, it's always been about trying to do something creative, because I'm not really a creative person. But I feel like if I could just put myself in front of a camera and entertain people, that makes the whole journey worthwhile. Is, people coming in and saying, hey, that was a great stream. I really enjoyed that moment.
Okay, so sorry, just give me a second, just responding. So what's your... give us your feedback. What have you found that within the Glimesh community that you're able to really achieve that goal you set out for? Have you been able to find that balance nicely and be able to sort of continue down that path that you originally sort of set out for?
Absolutely. I mean, pretty much I come home from work, and I'm excited to just be involved in the Glimesh community. Days that I'm not streaming, I'm usually popping into other people's streams and saying hello while I'm playing a video game or something. I love this community. I love being involved in it. And when I sit down and I start a stream, I've got so many people now that just pop in and say, "Hey, that was a great stream. I was super entertained," and that means the world to me when that happens.
Right. Cool. All right. So we'll bounce over to speed now, and we'll get speed's perception on everything again. Again, what drew you to Glimesh? What was your draw card to here? Like,
honestly, it was FTL. FTL was like the biggest winner for me. Because I started over on Twitch, as everyone does, because where do you start, really? You start in the most popular platform there is.
Of course.
And I was over there for 6 months. I had a pretty rough 6 months there, but then came across Beam. Heard that they'd been bought out by Microsoft, and I was like, oh yeah, obviously if Microsoft's interested in it, I'm going to go check it out.
Right.
Checked it out. Saw the roadmap that they had. Loved every bit of it. Loved the community, because the community is exactly the same as Glimesh. It was just a small, tight knit community where everyone just sort of looked out for each other.
Yep.
And one of the biggest things was FTL for me, because
Right.
I see streaming as interactivity. It's all about interaction with your chat. It's not just you doing whatever and you're just ignoring chat. You may as well just do fucking YouTube at that stage.
Yeah, so you're kind of interacting on a one-to-one basis. You're kind of having a conversation with them.
Yeah, but it was that live interaction, because at the stage when I was over on Twitch, there was a 20 odd second delay, and it was incredibly difficult to hold a conversation.
Yeah.
So those two things on me over FTL and the community, and as time went by, obviously we know about Mixer shutdown and whatnot. I ended up going back over to Twitch, and it wasn't right over there. You felt like a lost sheep.
Yep.
You were like the odd kid out in school. The one that sort of is by themselves in the crowd. You didn't really fit in anywhere. Didn't matter what you did.
Yeah.
And then hearing about Glimesh, and hearing that they had FTL, I mean, it was almost an immediate win for me. I didn't care about anything else, because I felt like it was a way for me to get back to what I really enjoyed, was that real time interaction. Then
can I ask you a question there on that? Like,
yeah.
Do you find yourself now performing better with this technology than you did on Twitch?
It's a lot more fluid, and I think that's what works better for streaming. Like, things just sort of roll better. You're not just sort of, you do something and then you're just sort of sitting back waiting for a reaction from your chat. It's things happen in real time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But then coming over and seeing how the community was, seeing how everyone sort of got along, everyone was just trying to support each other. I was like, this is what made me enjoy streaming in the first place.
Yeah.
So
obviously you take similarities from here in the community, obviously, and you tie it with what was there in Mixer and how it became its shell, basically. You're kind of taking very similar things from both platforms.
Yeah, they were very similar. Well, back in the early Beam days, I would compare Glimesh to.
Yep.
Very very homegrown, very community based. Had the right mindset, the right morals about everything.
Okay. So my question to you now is, like, obviously I came from the Mixer side. I started Mixer. I never went to Twitch until just recently when other sites did their things. But do you see a future where Glimesh might get to a point where it's too big and we face these same problems that we may have already seen on other platforms? Or do you foresee it being a continual flow on of this community network and reach?
I mean, naturally, I'm going to be hopeful that you know, everything that's in place now does flow into the future, and it does sort of become infectious, and people do adopt that as the norm.
Yeah.
Naturally, I wouldn't want Glimesh to turn out like the next Twitch, where it starts to grow really big, and then the community starts to just sort of I wouldn't even know the right word to describe it.
Would you say
Very
selfish?
Very, very Twitch-like. We don't.
Would you say selfish in that aspect, though?
There is a lot of selfishness when it comes to streaming, especially when you're more focused on metrics and just how many viewers can I possibly get in one stream, or how many subs can I get. Once you start going down that road, you may as well just go on stream on Twitch.
And just stop and just not bother. So how do you guys feel about the discoverability and the viewership, though?
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's because it's completely different. I haven't seen any other platform have such an open feel to being able to find anyone. You could literally just go anywhere. Everything's different every time you refresh the page, and that it's nothing to do with if you got X amount of viewers, you're going to be like here on the list, and obviously if you got even more than that, you're like up there.
Right.
So to find the genuine people on other platforms, you would have to scroll down and sort of hope for the best. On here, it's just you load up the page and it's all completely random. You don't know who's doing well, who's not doing well. You just click on whoever you feel like clicking on, really.
And one of my favorite things about it is, like, if you pull up like the gaming page right now, like, not only does it randomly shuffle them around, but it doesn't give you a view count until you actually open that stream. So you can't look through the page and be like, well, this guy's got like 30 people watching. That's an entertaining stream. Like, you don't get that. You basically get like a screenshot of what the stream's like and what game they're playing, and you can pop in and say hi, and you basically get a chance to meet the streamer without any preconceptions of what that stream is like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a placebo thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like if you were to see a stream that had like 30 views on it, and you'd be like, oh, they must be entertaining. I'm gonna pop in there. And then you look at another stream, you're like, oh, they've only got 2. Like,
so
you're naturally going to go for the higher view count.
So answer this on a personal level, and I'll throw this to both. I'll open this up to both of you boys, and even chat if there's people in chat who want to actually chime in on this one. Would you go out of your way if you knew the view count to go and support a smaller streamer, or would you go into the higher view count to be one of the people already there?
I personally am more of a if I had the community to push over onto a smaller streamer, I would do that. That's what I would do, because I mean, I've been through the struggles. I started off with nothing, several times actually. So, I know the struggle. I know what it's like to have, next to nothing when you're starting off. So giving them just that extra boost, because I had that at some points where I was getting like hardly any sort of concurrent viewership, and it was steady but it was low, and I'd have someone raid me with like 20 something people, and it's like, whoa, what? And it's like you get this adrenaline, to just keep doing what you're doing, because like, fuck, well, they chose me to come and raid. They wanted to come over and share that experience.
Yikes. What about you,
I
mate?
mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily would go to the biggest streamer. I mean, for me, my biggest draw to whether I want to go to a stream is the game that they're playing. because for me, like I like there are certain games that I like to watch, and they're mostly the games that I like to play. And I feel like if I go to a stream and that streamer is playing a game that I like or a game that I'm more interested in, like let's say it's a game that I'm thinking about getting but I'm on the fence, but hey, there's someone playing it. I'm gonna pop into that stream and see what it's all about. Like I don't necessarily care about the view count or anything like that. For me, it's about what the content is because that's what's gonna draw me in, and then the streamer is gonna keep me coming back. And that's just
my
how I
question
do
to
it.
you on that subject is how many people do you think you may have been able to change their stream perception just because they may have played a game that you didn't see?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so you obviously you were saying iRacing. I know you do a lot of World of Warcraft, but say someone's playing, I don't know, they're playing Wreckfest, and you're not into that kind of feel. That small streamer, do you think you might have been able to change their conceptions on streaming just by giving them that one view or that one chatter?
It's definitely possible. I mean, I feel like for any streamer, just having someone pop in that, you know, maybe an empty channel, like that can definitely change their day, change their stream. But I mean, there's no like one answer to that, because if you pull up the page, there could be like 20 people going. There's no way I'm going to be able to go to every stream at every time. So I have to pick based on, you know, what's available to me to what I think is going to provide me, you know, the most entertainment when I'm looking for a stream to watch. And for me, that has to do with the tags and the game, because that's kind of what you have to go off of, you know, on the platform is what they're playing, what the tags are, and you can go in and be like, oh, cool. And a lot of times, like, I go in for the game, and the streamer is what keeps me engaged for a long period of time.
Right. I kind of agree with that. Like, it is about, you know, that connection that you have with the streamer themselves. If you pop in and it's just not there, like you're not clicking.
And part of it too,
you're like, oh, okay, well.
If you're not feeling the vibe when you go in there, you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to hang around and have a chat, are you? It's like the vibe initially has to pick you up.
Well, yeah, because like as a viewer, I want to be able to go into a stream and know that like I'm going to be able to have an interaction with that streamer, because as a streamer, I want viewers to come in that are going to be able to have an interaction with me. So like I'm not going to go click on a stream of someone playing Apex Legends or something like that, because I don't know the game. Like, I'm not going to be able to go in there and understand what's going on and be like, hey, that was a cool move, or, you know, that was a good game or anything, because, like, I don't know the game. Now, if I was, like, interested in a game like that, then I would go into other streams and try to kind of get a feel for the game to decide, hey, if I want to try that. But if it's a game that, like, I'm currently not interested in looking into or trying out, the odds of me actually going into that stream. And I said Apex Legends just because that was the first one on the top of my head. I'm not ragging on Apex Legends or people that play Apex. No. But like just generally, like, you know, I'm not gonna go to like as easily go to a stream that I know nothing about, because I want to make sure that when I go to that stream, I'm gonna be able to have that interaction with the viewer. And if I'm watching a game that I know nothing about, I'm not going to be able to provide any kind of viewer commentary on that other than like, hey, how was your day?
You kind of feel out of your depth sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like fish out of water.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
personally, I've tried to get out of that habit of, you know, I will only watch the games that I'm interested in or whatnot. Especially on Glimesh, I'm trying to just sort of drop into whoever. And you know, I'll hang out there for a little bit. And, you know, if I start to, you know, if I can vibe off them, I'm like, yeah, these people aren't too bad. You know, then, you know, I'll hang around. I'll keep chatting or whatnot. Even if I don't understand the fucking game, like, I'll just chat away. And like that's one thing that could just change everything.
I guess
as Winchester said in my chat. So saying it does feel nice for one person to come by and even say hi.
Yeah. I guess for me, and it's always been my point, is if I go into a channel, I'm not worried about the game. I'm not even really worried so much about the streamer as such and what they're doing. I want to see their level of interactivity. Like if I go, hi, how's the day? Like I don't expect them to be like instant on top of it. I don't know, Speed, you and I are like, we're rockets on our chat. Like we love to interact with our chat. But you find there's some people, you can sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and they don't even read it. And it's just like, at what point can you kind of nudge somebody to say, hey, you know, your perception of what you're doing versus what you are actually achieving aren't the same goal?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because someone's going to say, oh, I want to be big, I want to be a big streamer, but they're not interactive. They're just literally focused purely on just playing a game. That's all they want to do is play a game. Like, yeah.
I actually tested that out one day.
Yep.
I dropped into a few streams and I hit one, you know, said hi, and probably 20 minutes I was sitting there and they just didn't look at chat once, even like between matches, like in the pause minute, they just didn't. I'm like, you just shouldn't. if you're the sort of person that's going to do that, streaming's not for you.
You're sharing the same view I am, though. If you go in and you don't get responded to, you don't get that initial sort of interactivity.
I'm not waiting for an instant response. Like I know that, you know, people do get involved in the game, and I'll wait around a little bit. But if, you know, if let's say they look in the chat and they respond to someone else and not me, I'm like,
yeah, that's a little weird.
What? That's okay. Well, now you're just being selective. Or if they just don't look at chat at all, it's like, well, I'm sorry, you're just not worth my time.
Do you give that streamer like another chance, say in a few days? Like if you see them live again, would you actually go back in there and try and see if their demeanor's changed or something's going on in the chat?
Because I don't think that someone like that would change. Not like overnight, or you know, depending on the content they're streaming. If you hang around enough, like say you hang around for like 20 minutes, half an hour, you get a good vibe on
you get a good understanding.
Like how they interact with their chat, how they operate their streams, what their perception is on everything, you know, what their goals are for streaming. And
that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, look, you guys have touched on pretty much everything that, you know, again, it has been the heart and soul of what I've done. You know, I came from Mixer originally. You know, Mixer shut down, we all know that. I moved to Trovo, that was a big mistake. Again, it was a very small platform, so again, once that kind of left a sour taste, I kind of moved to Twitch, and it was like, again, like you said, Yakes, you just feel like an empty hole there.
Yeah.
You just don't feel like there's anything. Then Glimesh opened, and I was really apprehensive because, again, it's another small site. Are they going to do things the right way? And again, you know, sitting here today, and I mean, look, Glimesh is now what, 4 months old? We're going on 4 months old now.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, you know, the three of us are here. We've created this exact channel. Well, not so much channel, but we've created this exact podcast style thing. Side note, for this reason, this is why we started this. You know, Yakes, you give us a different feel. You're an MMO, you're an RPG.
Yeah.
Speed, again, a lot different in what he does. And again, you know, it just shows the versatility of what is here on this platform and how we can go about it. You know, like I'm seeing a few people I've dropped in the last couple of days bouncing in chat, and look, the ability to reach out to the community that we've slowly built. And I mean, Yakes, you've got a pretty decent community. I know Speed, you've got a pretty good one as well. And a lot of mine have kind of followed me. Like a lot of my base unit have actually followed me across a lot of platforms. Now this touches on a thing that Speed, we spoke about just before the podcast. Re-examine or just re-bring to light the reason your tweet, that if anyone in chat has seen Speed's tweet just recently, why that came about. I really want to bring that into the podcast because I feel that's a really good fundamental to streaming. And I just want you to elaborate just a little bit more on that and just give us a bit more of an understanding and a feel for why you went to that level on social media to kind of call that out and give us a rundown on it for me.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't follow me on Twitter, don't bother. Don't worry, you're not really missing a lot. But I had tweeted, you know,
everyone go follow him now.
No, don't worry about it. I'll start shit posting. Don't do it. So I basically said, if you want to stream on another platform and your viewers aren't willing to make an account on said platform, do they actually care about anything that you do? And that came across from another tweet that I had seen, basically asking for another way for this streamer's viewers to log in to Glimesh, basically using either their Google or Twitch account. And to me, that's just lazy. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it takes, what, 5 minutes to create a new account. And the fact that people now are that lazy and aren't willing to do that for the person that they're watching.
Let me try and get this right and break this down a bit. They wanted to use their Twitch account to sign into Glimesh to view streams. That was
the streamer that had originally tweeted that was the general idea. Was to either use your Google login or your Twitch login to log into Glimesh.
So I guess they would use their Twitch login to go and order Uber Eats, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just saying, doesn't it kind of counteract the whole purpose of having content and having a community for that purpose? Like, doesn't that kind of
that's it? Like,
unbalances it?
I mean, if you've got a Twitch account, you've most likely got a Google account, right, to watch stuff on YouTube. I mean, who doesn't? But like, what's the difference between spending an extra 5 minutes to create a new account on a new platform? Like, why?
Oh yeah.
Why
totally,
has today's society become so lazy?
Yeah, no, that's just Jakes. Can we just
and I don't find it supportive either.
What was that?
Yeah, Jakes. Can we just get your view on that as well? Like, what do you take
So,
away from it? If you read that on social media, what do you take away from it?
I mean, I've actually got a little bit of experience here. So, as you guys know, like, I stream my guild raids on World of Warcraft, and oftentimes I will post the link to the stream on the guild Discord and be like, "Hey, I'm streaming here," and nobody there really knows Glimesh. They're not like big into like streaming content or anything like that. But I've actually had a few of them actually not only come and watch the stream, but actually create accounts on the site so that they can interact with the chat and comment on the raid. So like I really don't think it's like a big deal to come to a site if you're actually interested in the content and just make an account. I mean, obviously, like, it's easier if it was like linked to a Google account or something like that, because there's so many apps that do that. But at the same time, like, when you make an account on Glimesh, you then have the ability to customize that username. You're not locked into that same username that you use everywhere else. You can then create like a Glimesh username, a Glimesh account. And I don't know. I get why you would want single sign-on, because single sign-on is great in certain applications, but I don't think you should use single sign-on for everything. Also because of internet security. Like, I work in IT, and like internet security is like a big thing, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves is people that use the same password for everything or the same button to log into everything. And don't.
But wouldn't it kind of defeat the purpose? Like okay, if it's a Google system, Twitch, all those kind of things. Like, I kind of get linking it.
Yeah.
But when it's a completely side entity, like, at what point do you have to kind of look at those tweets and just go, "You're an idiot"? Like, you really are. You don't understand. It'd be like another car company trying to sell someone else's cars. It's not. It just doesn't make sense. Like, KFC trying to sell McDonald's, or Wendy's trying to sell, Chick-fil-A. It just doesn't work.
Yeah,
like, it's not the same.
It'd be like ordering McDonald's through KFC.
Basically, yeah.
That's what it would be like. Yeah, it's
ridiculous. Is that the sort of community and situation that we are literally focused on? I can't use my Target red card to buy stuff at Walmart. But again, Robe, that's the same thing. It's, why would you expect to do that here on Glimesh when you can't do it anywhere else? Like
I
it
mean,
just doesn't make sense.
I don't see a problem with
People-
like linking accounts, but I think you should still have to make a Glimesh account first to then link it.
Right.
But I don't know what the benefit of necessarily linking it would be yet.
We're
But
sort of diverting from the point here. The point is that it's really easy to
yeah,
make a
create-
new
it's
account.
not difficult.
Yeah.
Like it takes like 30 seconds to make a new Glimesh account. Like all you need is the email and password.
Exactly.
I mean, I had a viewer. She streams over on Twitch. She made an account, and she was going through the hassle of trying to authenticate her account, and she couldn't find the authentication link. And it's like weeks later, she ended up figuring it out, and popped in for a chat. That's someone from that's a Twitch streamer who's willing to do that.
I've had a couple of friends that do the same thing. Like they stream over on Twitch, or they mostly watch Twitch streams that have then come over and been like, "Hey, you're streaming here. I want to watch your streams. Let me just make a Glimesh account and then pop in the chat."
Well, I mean, the thing is, they can't type in chat until they log in. So it's kind of a case, if you want to interact, you have to make an account. So clearly a streamer putting those tweets out there really is it's just got their head kind of buried in the sand a little bit. Use some better words there, but they're kind of burying their head away from reality. And at that point, you kind of, do you hold a lot of hope for streamers with that mentality is the question. Like, did you really give them a chance to...
Well, I think that's the Twitch mentality right there.
Right, yeah.
That's the mentality that is Twitch, and that's what should probably stay on Twitch.
Which, yeah,
Is
exactly
just
right.
the laziness, the willing to cut corners, the do anything to get anything.
Yeah.
Sort of mentality.
All right, so let's kind of wrap that up a little bit, because that's an open can, that one, and that can kind of lead to you probably find there's streamers that 100% back that, and you find streamers that are totally against it. And look, I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, it's an open opinion.
Like I said,
and that's what we're about.
To look at it objectively, like I can understand the sentiment of wanting a single sign-on button. Like I get that. Like I know it's easier. Like I understand wanting that, and I don't think anyone's an idiot or anything like that for wanting single sign-on. But it also, like, when you make an account on Glimesh, it means you care about that streamer. And if you really care about that streamer and that product, then you will do the steps you need to make sure you can interact with that. Because if you just want to watch, you don't need an account to watch. You only need the account to interact with the streamer.
Exactly right. Yeah, no, totally. That's totally right, dude. Exactly. Like those points are very valid on all sorts of fronts here. But yeah, it's interesting that this is what we're combating daily. It's not like anyone would think that'd be that's just a one-off, but it's really not. Like if you go through and you look at it, it's an open book. There's so many things that you just see from streamers, and it just honestly it makes me cringe to think about that. This is a streamer trying to build a community, and this is what they're throwing out there. It's just so dangerous.
It really is this generation of streamers. They've been completely brainwashed to do things that are counterproductive to what they're trying to achieve.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, if you go on YouTube and like, there's all kinds of just like garbage videos you can look up. There's like how to make a big stream, and it's just like no, like none. And then like so like people just follow these metrics, but it's like the most important thing to building a stream and building a community is to just turn the camera on and be yourself, and that's it. Like it's really that easy. There's no like easy like guide. There's no like tips and tricks that you can do. Like you can have all the flashy graphics, all the flashy descriptions, bios, and all that. But like if you want people to come to your stream, you want people to be entertained, you have to just be yourself, because you are like the selling product.
It's like that. It's like having children. I mean, there's no definitive guideline to how to raise a child. Like you could have all of these things, but still, it's your own personal journey that's going to get you towards the end.
So I just had comment on my channel here, Big Old Wolf. I've been bouncing his channel the last couple of days, and again, another like very community focused streamer, and take nothing away from what he does. He's just come in there, And he said networking. And again, you can only network to a certain degree if your mentality and your charisma isn't there.
Right.
There's no point someone who's got those kind of attitudes of saying, oh, well, I want people in my stream, but I'm not going to go and do anything. Those kind of people are never going to network. They don't understand networking.
You got to put yourself out there.
Well, I mean, that's the case. I mean, you follow people on Twitter, you follow people on Instagram, you're in Discord, you're in Guilded, you're in other things. So is it really that hard to network by talking to people? Like in Discord, it's not hard to strike up a conversation, have a backwards and forwards, and tell people where you are. Networking, I think, is a kind of it's kind of a wasted skill in streaming. If that makes sense. Like, I don't see a lot of people using it anymore.
I think the premise of networking is just misconstrued right now. Like, it's not what people think it is. People think of networking now, and they're like, "Oh, I've got to be on every social media platform. I've got to be like all over the job. I've got to fucking just put everything out there." That essentially you're doing like 3 times as much work as you need to do.
Yep.
Like, all you got to do is just talk to people.
Yeah,
that's it. Like that's
go into channels.
The simple way. It is just pop into a channel, chat with people, even if you're only there for like 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pop in, say hi, just be friendly. Build up that sort of reputation of just being that friendly person, and people will eventually just sort of float on through.
Gravitate.
That's actually
you
like
gravitate. You pick it up because you read through text. You can gravitate towards certain people.
And that's kind of what, like, when I first joined Glimesh, like, not only did I like have my first stream here, but like the day or two before like my first stream, I was actually just like bouncing around in other streams and like talking to people and trying to get a feel for the community. And I still do that to this day. Like I said, days where I'm not streaming, like during evening times, like this time, US time, if I'm not live, I'm in other streams. I'm bouncing between streams. I'm popping in. I'm saying hi. I'm trying to check out new things. Just trying to just say hi to the community. And a lot of times, like, I'll pop into somebody's channel and we'll strike up a conversation for 10-30 minutes or whatever, and then like the next day I'm streaming, that person will pop in and say hi. Or the other way around, I've had people pop into my stream and then I recognize that name from chat, and the next day I go pull up Glimesh, I see them streaming, I'll pop in and be like, hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by my stream the other night.
You're kind of seeing a return on investment type deal.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting in the investment time, and then you're seeing them coming back, and slowly that's building. So again, that person who's in 4 or 5 different communities or might be a streamer says, hey, I checked out this bloke the other day, go and check him out. Yakes87, he was doing the WoW raid, and people will be like, oh, I love WoW, because that streamer has now supported you. So you're seeing the return of investment basically around that situation, right? Do you feel that as well, Speed? Like, is that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't take much. All it's got to take is like a couple of conversations. That's literally all it takes for people to just be like, well, okay, I might just pop on over and check out this person or whatever.
All right. So moving on, what is it that you guys, content-wise, not features, but content-wise, what is it that you guys want to see more, less here on Glimesh? Like, what is it you guys are hoping to sort of see on the platform?
Yeah, you can go first. Yes.
What do you mean by content?
Well, content. I mean, are you wanting hot tub streams? Are you want?
Oh no, absolutely not. They can keep those over there. We don't need those at all. No, those can stay over there.
What is it you want to see on the platform?
Like,
which pathway do you want to see the Glimesh content platform? Which way do you want to see that head?
I just want more people here playing the games they enjoy, because I feel like if a streamer is playing a game they enjoy, they're gonna make better content. Like I think like having like a meta, like let's say like let's just use WoW for an example, right? When Classic WoW first launched in 2018, it was like the biggest thing over on Twitch for so long, and everybody was streaming it. And I think not only that, but there were also people that like don't necessarily play WoW that were trying to stream WoW just because it was like the big popular thing. And I really don't necessarily want to see that on Glimesh, because I feel like when a streamer is just playing a game because it's a big popular game, I feel like you're not going to get the best out of that creator. So I really want to encourage, people that stream here to just stream games that they want to play, stream games that they enjoy, and don't necessarily stream a game because it's popular or it's supposed to bring in viewers. Because if you're not enjoying the game, if you're not able to, provide anything about that game, like if you're like a fish out of water playing a game, as a viewer, you can see that. You can tell when a streamer is out of their element, not enjoying the game. And it's just not going to provide good content. And so
we won't be seeing you play Apex if it gets big on Glimesh.
Probably not, no. But I think the most important thing as far as content goes is streamers playing the games that they want to play. If you're playing a game that you want to play, you're going to be able to put great content out, and you're going to have an engaging stream, and people are going to be there, and they're going to have fun, and they're going to come back.
So Yakes is WoW, and Speed's obviously putting out good content with Rocket League and PGA over there.
Well,
Yeah.
But on top of that, Yates, I think that's like the Twitch meta. It's whatever's popular. That's sort of if you want to get noticed, that's what you play.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like that's the meta over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Trovo had the same thing. They're all mobile based, so COD,
but like
Fortnite, things like that.
I feel like over here at the moment, because it is such a small community, there are people just doing whatever they want to do,
Right.
and I it's just working for them, and I hope that it stays that way, and we don't start seeing the popularity of games. And I think like the random pages just having everything sort of everywhere. There's no like this is the popular game, or these are the popular streams. It's not forcing people to think like a Twitch streamer. It's just like, this is the content that's available.
Yeah,
I can sort of fit in wherever.
Like, a good example of that.
I've got to ask. Go on, X.
Okay. Well, like a good example of that was actually something that just happened recently with the New World beta. There were so many streams. If you pulled up Glimesh, there was at any point like half the streams were all New World. But because of how Glimesh organizes, you were playing New World. But because of how Glimesh organizes it, you really couldn't tell that half the streams were New World because it would randomly shuffle them around, so that you're going there and it's like, oh, that person's playing New World, this person's playing Crash Bandicoot, this person's playing Final Fantasy, that one's playing New World, and it was just kind of like shuffled around, and there were just like, even though there was like a lot of options for New World, there were other games being played as well. And that's what I love about Glimesh, is because it orders it around so that like you're not just like bombarded with like, this is the top game right now on the platform, New World, that's what everybody's streaming right now. So like I feel like even if like the meta were to come here, I feel like it wouldn't have that same effect that it does on the Twitch or a Trovo, because of the way that Glimesh organizes randomly the content for people to find.
Right.
Yeah. And on that, like even if someone did come over with that meta of I'm going to play, the latest popular game, everyone's going to notice me. It's not going to work over here.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just not. I mean, the platform's not built that way.
Yeah.
So I think,
but like, even if, even if people are playing like this brand new game that's just come out, it's because they want to play that brand new game. It's not to sort of top leaderboards by any means.
If you're playing the game because you want to play the game, that's what should matter.
Yeah. So I think I know the answer to this question, and I know it from Yake's point of view. But have you guys found, coming back or coming to Glimesh, have you gone back to playing some of the original games that you would played early on in your stream career?
No.
I
have you gone backwards? Have you gone not backwards so much, but have you kind of gone back to, breaking the whole framework of I must play the most popular game? Have you gone back to going, hey, no one's playing Spyro, I'm gonna play Spyro for the next 4 days of my week?
I was personally never in that mindset. I never delved into I need to play the most popular game to get noticed. I always had the mindset from the very beginning of I'm going to do what I want to do,
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you don't have to be here.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, it was the hard road, but
for me, it's basically the same thing. Like, I never played the popular game. I mean, I started my stream content doing iRacing and WoW, and that's kind of what I do most of the time. But with the added bonus of, like, I can play it. Like, my first couple of streams on Glimesh were literally Spyro the Dragon, because...
Oh, no, that's why I said it.
I know, but the reason I did that was because, like, I was already, like, off stream. I was already in the middle of, like, a revisit of the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and I'm like, if I'm going to stream it, I might as well just stream something that, like, I know this game is fun, I know it's enjoyable, and if people want to watch it and they're going to watch me having fun with a game because I'm already having fun doing this revisit, let me just throw it on stream and see what happens. So, I mean, I try to vary my streams by doing some, like, I did a Crash Bandicoot stream again this morning. Like, I love Crash Bandicoot. And, I can play those games along with my main content of WoW and iRacing, and I just know I'm going to have time because, like, that's what's awesome about Glimesh is I can just switch up my stream and play something completely different.
And it'll work. You're not falling under that meta tag. You're not trying to, trying to compete with the meta, which is cool. All right, so
when I first started, sorry, I just
no, you're
when I first started, I started streaming Lego Jurassic World. That was my first game that I ever started streaming, and naturally, at the time, that didn't fall into any sort of favorability.
No,
except on nerd category
on Twitch at all. Like, I was like down the fucking list. So naturally, I got all the scumbags coming into my stream. But I even played, Conker's Bad Fur Day as well at that stage. Like, I was playing just whatever I wanted.
That's scumbag.
It was just whatever I wanted to play. That's what I would play. It wasn't about playing the top dog games.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to touch on features with Glimesh, but probably right now, I think everyone's kind of there or thereabouts on the features. I think everyone kind of knows, and I think we're kind of in a bit of a black hole there at the moment, as in we're waiting. We're in that sort of standpoint. I guess in some ways, Speed, I'll throw this to you mainly. Do you feel maybe Phase 2 could have been revamped a little to maybe eliminate such a black hole that we've had for so long? Do you think there could have been something that might have been a more benefit to the platform that could have, like, taken people's minds off other parts of the roadmap? Because we all know the roadmap. Yeah. We all know what people are waiting for. Let's not be stupid. We know they're waiting for the app, but could we have necessarily done, or could Glimesh have necessarily done something different to fill that void? Do you feel personally?
So like it's like gifted subs, for example, or like hosting and rating,
right?
Like, those sorts of things. I think they could have been implemented relatively easily to sort of appease the masses in this time
do you
of
think
nothingness.
So let's say you got your hosting and rating. Do you think that would have taken the heat, I guess the heat, in we use a better word, off the app a little bit?
A little bit, yes. But I think a lot of the viewership is on mobile.
Yeah, there's 60%. We know it's 60%.
Yeah. So people are at work or whatever, and they want to pop into a stream. Obviously, they're going to be on their phone. So having that smooth experience there is obviously more beneficial to the platform. But in a way, yes, they could have implemented something, just something. Like,
but do you think that if they had implemented something in this black window, that it might have just taken it would have looked more spaced out rather than just being a big chunk for so long? Like, is that what you're feeling, or do you still feel that it still wouldn't have balanced very well anyway?
Well, yes and no. I also feel like people are impatient.
Right. We touched on laziness before, so I mean, we may as well throw the impatient out there.
Yeah, I feel like people are impatient. That the platform itself is in an alpha state. It is still being developed, so we can't just.
That's the big thing to remember too.
Everything to be there, but that's it. Like, people can jump up and down and scream about what features they want. You know, where's the app? You know, you've been working on the app for so long. It's like, it takes time.
Yeah,
It takes time to develop these things, and
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if the site was in, you know, a fully stable like state where it was not in alpha or beta, then yeah, okay, have a bit of a push in that direction, because that's
Right.
sort of the stuff that they should be focusing 100% of their attention to.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff going on right now, so, and
Oh,
unfortunately,
exactly. I mean,
you know, there's not a lot of people working on that stuff, which is
yeah,
taking
and there's a lot
little
of stuff
bit
going
longer
on
than
that no one,
expected.
you know, us as streamers and you know, as viewers and stuff, we don't know the processes in the background. We don't know how much work is actually involved in their in-depth coding and stuff like that. Let me ask you though, Speed, what is like the hosting and rating feature for you as a streamer? What is that a big thing for you? Is that a way for you to show support to, you know, the community? Is that a way for you to like? Is that something you? Is that a tool you're going to use a lot of?
I will eventually I will use that a lot. I think at this stage it's not overly necessary. It's more of a convenience thing. But I think that with the size of the platform as it is, you know, I mean, the amount of streams that are live at any concurrent time, it's not that big of a deal right now. You know, obviously, if there's like hundreds of streams going on, and you know, having that rating or hosting feature is,
Yeah.
you know, very beneficial at that stage. I think it's too early for it. It's not going to make enough of a dent anyway.
So you wouldn't. So you're ending a stream. You wouldn't go and find somebody to take your 6, 7, 8, 10 viewers to, just to give them that, as we spoke about before, that little leg up. Even though it's a
I
small
would.
platform, you still don't
I
think
would.
it'd be a
I
useful
would.
tool for that.
I do occasionally do it now,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's. I don't think the platform's big enough for it yet. Like,
I
it's
kind of
not.
see. I kind of disagree with that. I don't think a
Yeah.
platform needs to be big to do a raid because, as we said before, you go back to the start of where we were at, and we say, you know, we'd support, you know, the smaller people. If you end your stream and then you've got, say, you know, 10 viewers, and then you personally go to that channel and you sit and say, hi, how's it going? Yes, that's a boost for that stream because they've got that person in. But how much more of a boost, as you said before, you got rated with 20 people. How much more of a boost on Glimesh would it be for a streamer who's, say, 2 or 3 days new to the platform to get someone like Speed Demon come into their channel with 10 people?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
So
yeah,
I think
I get what
size doesn't matter, but it's still the level. It still shows that your process is thinking about that streamer. Just bounce to Yakes on that. How often do you think you would use it, Yakes, in the current phase of what we're in right now? Like,
I mean, as someone that did my first like old school raid like today, like I actually had a lot of fun doing it. You know, as like I was playing Crash Bandicoot, and as I ended, I'm like, oh, here's 2 channels that are just live right now. Like, go to either one of these and say hi. Like, I would definitely use that a lot more. I mean, obviously, over on the other platform, I was never really had that opportunity to do rating or hosting to any effective measure. But you know, with the smaller community, even if I had like 3 or 4 people in chat, sending those 3 or 4 people over to another stream would be a huge impact on this platform. Like 3 or 4 people is a huge amount of people for the size of the community.
Would you guys agree that, say, a 3 or 4 viewers in your channel when you go on raid is kind of equivalent to, say, 20 or 30 on the other platform?
It could be, yeah.
You know, the mentality would be, holy crap! Like, I've never seen 5 people in my channel at once, and here I've got, you know, 6. Like, would you think it kind of marginal for marginal? It would say that, you know, Glimesh is 6, but on the other platform would be like 30 or 40. Would it give you that same mentality?
I think regardless, you know, for majority of the people that do stream over here, they're not really going to care about how many people come over in a raid. You know, they're just going to think, oh, fuck, I've been raided. Yeah. You know, it's just going to be that sort of, that adrenaline rush, that hype of, you know, I've
Well, I don't
been
know.
picked out of all of these people.
Yeah, well, I think I did know G-Raid the other day on Halfway Vinny. I forget. I think I had like 3 or 4 people that joined in, but we just went in and blew up his chat, and it was just you could see the energy on his face was just like holy
yeah.
shit. Chat's just ding 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 ding. It's just scrolling, and
Yeah.
and I think it's things like that. Like I don't know whether it's really the size of the platform or the size of the support. I think it's just the sheer fact that it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Like
really helps.
I remember
It just boosts.
I was streaming GTA 5 one day, and it was like 11 p.m. I had work the next day. I'm like, I was getting ready to wind everything down, and then I got raided with like 35 people, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to bed now. It's like I can't go to bed now. It's morally I can't.
Yeah.
And but it was still like absolutely wild, and it just excited me so much to have so many people chatting to me, like actually, and a large majority of them were actually, hyped for what I was doing and interested in what I was doing.
Right. So that then leads to my next thing is, how do you feel when you get a raid? Like if you are exactly like Speed just said, if you are winding down and you're saying, time's getting on, I've been live for 10 hours, and then all of a sudden you get a raid, how do you mentally sustain yourself to go through that and say, look guys, I'm getting off, so if you want to, you want to raid, we'll go and do another raid? Or do you put yourself in a position and say, look, no, I've just got to stay on? Like at what point do you do you give yourself another hour? Do you give yourself 10 minutes? What's your process to go through if you get that on a downturn?
I think it's a very awkward position to begin.
Yeah.
Because you're preparing yourself to get off, and then it's like, do I stay? Do I not stay? Do I push the raid through to someone else? Do I, try
Because
and
it's
get
a
them
mental state,
to
isn't it?
come back another time? Like,
I think
It's
really
a mental
depends.
state, isn't it? You're winding down in the brain. You're turning the brain off, so you want to try and get off, don't you? So
I think it's completely situational. Like, I feel like there's value in that second wind of like, oh, I'm winding down, and it's like, oh, massive hype, and then you just kind of keep that going. But I think it's extremely situational. Like, it depends on the situation. Like, if it's like, I have a hard deadline, like, I have to go, then it's like, hey, I'm sorry, but like, I'll send you somewhere else. But like, if I've got time, if I'm not on a time crunch, it's like, okay, we'll just go until it's like, well, now I have to go. Okay, sorry. Like, if it's getting late, like, I got to get to bed, or I got to go get lunch, or something like that. Like, I think it's entirely situational based on the, like, the number of people that come in, what you're playing, what's going on. Because, like, if I was playing, like if I'm playing WoW, right? And it's like, okay, I've got a bunch of people coming in, and I'm doing, like, dungeon spam. And it's like, all right, well, they're here, so like, let's just do one more dungeon, and then we'll go however long the dungeon takes. And it's like, all right, cool, that was a great stream, thanks everybody.
Right.
So I mean, I think it's completely situational. I mean, I don't think there's a clear cut answer.
It's never a clear cut, but I mean, understanding a mentality, understanding that, like how you feel, I guess is what we're trying to get to. It's not so much is there a right or wrong way to do it or handle it. It's just how do you feel mentally? Like if you're winding down and saying, wow, this has been a 9-hour stream, I am absolutely flogged to a dead horse, and then all of a sudden you get raided and you're just like, how do you mentally bounce back? Like, do you bounce back, or do you just say, yeah, no, look, I just can't do it, I'm done for the night?
Well, I don't think you're going to take it quite like that. You're not going to
feel like, oh, sorry guys, I'm going to bed now. I'm sorry you're here. Sorry to waste your time. Oh, a raid? Oh.
Yeah, Speed, you can run 27 hours on stream. Shut up.
Yeah, but I'm different. But like, you could be, getting towards the end of the stream, you could get raided. It's still an exciting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like I don't think anyone's gonna be just like, oh, I can't believe I'm getting raided again. Ugh.
No, not not that. It's just the
okay.
There's another one.
Yeah. now you gotta gem it back up again. It's like how do you mentally get around that though? Like,
I think just the natural rush of just being raided is enough to sort of perk you up a little bit more. But naturally, it is situational. If you got to get off, you got to get off.
Yeah.
For me, I'd be like umming and ahhing and be like, okay, well, I've either got to get off right now, or I'll keep streaming for another hour.
Yeah.
So do you have a
my
process?
cutoff time? Or...
So obviously you just said another hour, Speed. So is that like your process? You kind of accept the raid for an hour before you kind of deal that if you're in that phase?
That's just something that I would do.
And I've done it myself. So I mean, that's totally on the same page. But
I feel like it's kind of like riding a wave, because like when you get raided, like there's a bunch of people here, there's a bunch of energy, but like that energy isn't going to stay the whole time. Like that energy from the raid is definitely going to taper off. So I think that's the situation. Is like when the energy from the raid starts to die down, and I'm like already trying to get off. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna go raid someone else, and you basically just pass that raid on somewhere else to whoever's still left. I don't think there's like I got raided, so we're gonna go another hour. I think it's I got raided, I'm gonna keep going while the energy is still there, and then when the energy kind of dwindles a little bit, it's like, all right, then I'm gonna either raid or hop off stream. So
that's where the euphoria of the raid kind of drops, and you're just like, I'm just not producing that level that I was at before.
And Vader put in my chat, if Glimesh implements a raiding feature, I hope they add a way to block raids too. I'm sure they would. I mean, I think Glimesh is definitely heading into a direction where everything is going to be customizable.
Yeah.
It's their biggest opportunity to be completely different to every other platform.
That's the interesting thing. We may need to get Faded. We may need to get Faded on the show and actually touch on that subject as to why you'd want to block the raid. Why would you want to block support to your channel? We might need to touch on that with him at some point.
That's actually an interesting point. I didn't think about that. I mean, for some people, it's not their thing. I mean, it's the same as metrics. I mean, some people.
Yeah, I get some people are a bit daunted by it.
They turn metrics off. I mean, even having the ability to not look at how many viewers are on your stream is big. I mean, you can't not look at that on Twitch.
Yeah,
no, that's huge on Twitch.
It's just
there. Like, I mean, it's right in your face. You can't miss it. Like, I mean, this is just a little red box, and I mean, you click on it, and it just puts nothing there. But I mean, I guess one of the fundamentals, and you get told, is when you stream, you don't number watch. But here, you can get away with that. You don't need to. I couldn't tell you how many followers I had. Someone said to me, "Hey, Lord, you made 100 followers," and I was like, "Hey, yeah, cool, sweet." I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know, on other platforms, it's jammed in your face. As soon as you get off stream, it's like, "Here's your stream report." You're like, "I go away."
Yeah. Well, I don't mind the stream report, but it's like the achievements on Twitch. It's like there are actual like goals, and you're like,
those are
like
so
I
dumb.
kind of want to hit that. So you're more.
You tick the first 12 pretty quick, and you're like, "Oh, I'm doing good."
And
then the next
you tick a couple
just a
of them,
complete grind.
But you're more focused on numbers at that stage, and that's just you're diverting from.
I think there's a time and a place to be concerned with the numbers.
Be streaming. Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
But it should not be right away.
One of the suggestions that I made early on was the customizable stream summaries. So you looking at the stuff that you want to look at. If you want to look at your total views for the stream, you have that on there, or if you only want to have however many subs you gained that day, you can just look at that or whatnot. I think that would be very handy to a lot of people.
Oh, 100%.
Because they can either just completely disregard the whole fucking thing, or they can just pick and choose whatever they want.
Certain elements, and then just focus on those elements. I think. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, that's pretty fair.
Okay, so Vader's just got back. Said that can't handle the mental social stress of raids. He's excruciatingly introverted. Can't deal with the influx of people I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that.
That's my fault. That's my fault. I'm so sorry.
I remember.
I sent a bunch of people to his stream today because he's super cool. He pops into my streams all the time. I saw him playing Legend of Zelda, and I was winding down my cross stream, so I sent a bunch of people there, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like, so again, I understand that. Like, I get that whole social anxiety that he's talking about there, because on Mixer,
Yeah.
my first raid actually came from a Mixer partner with over 100 viewers, and holy shit, did I crap myself. Like, it took me into a whole new world, and that was really stressful. So I understand the stress, but generally understanding that raids are just another streamer trying to bring their community to show you off and highlight you as a streamer isn't really something to stress about. It's more something to appreciate, I guess. And like, I get the whole there's the you know, that influx of people is like bam, it's like, oh shit. But what you got to understand is you're still streaming and putting on a show. If those 25 people all clicked on your channel at the same time, it would be the same euphoric moment as you've got all these people there. So I think it's just a way of maybe talking with, I don't want to say more competent streamers, but understanding that, you know, that's just the flow and the appreciation that a streamer has for your channel. If that makes sense. Like, it's you know, the way you handle yourself, obviously that streamer wants to support that.
I feel like anxiety and that was definitely heightened over on the Twitch side, because it is very number based over there.
Yeah.
You know, and you feel like you need to produce content. You know, when you do get raided, you're like, oh fuck, you know, I've now got 50 people watching me. You know, you know, you just sort of ramp it up a little bit. You know, you end up being not you. The best advice I could possibly give to anyone that gets raided is just stay calm. Just do what you do. People will either stay or they will leave. That is just the nature of things.
Well, as we heard from Yakes before, he goes into channels that he likes the game, you know. So if he's on a raid and they're playing a game like he said Apex, and he doesn't understand it, well, he's not going to hang around. So again, you know, those numbers quickly balance very fast as to who stays and who disappears.
Right.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. But
so all right, well, I mean that's fair, and I mean, like I said, maybe we can get faded on at some point and sit down and have a chat and get a better understanding and highlight, you know, certain things with certain people. But yeah, that's actually quite an interesting subject to touch on. You know, because you know there's a double-edged sword to that. Is you can't handle raids, but why are you streaming? Because, you know, that's inevitably, that's kind of, the bridge is going to cross at some point. So somehow, you know, that's going to happen. And look, that's again the understanding of how we, as viewers or as a community, affect a streamer. Just so it gives us a little bit more insight in how we can better go about it, you know. And that's really cool. That's awesome. All right, so let's get on to any news, rumors, events, anything like that. Anyone got anything coming up? I know you were involved in something with Banjax.
Oh yeah,
last night or yesterday?
That was yesterday. Oh my god,
he's just completely blanked out. He's zoned out.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at our little agenda there, see what's coming up next. But so Banjax put on this amazing thing. We were playing a game called Goose Goose Duck, and it's kind of like an Among Us clone, but like with geese, and like it was wacky. It was so much fun. We were all like on his stream. We were all playing that. I think it was me, Ferret, and then some other people. I don't know if they're like Glimesh streamers or not. I think they're just friends of Banjax. But we had such great chemistry. It was so much fun for like 2 hours that we played. And he mentioned he's going to be doing another one again soon, and I absolutely can't wait for it because it was so much fun. It was great to just kind of be involved in the community and.
So he's going to put that obviously through the Glimesh events.
Yeah, he was.
Thing, so
he was talking about submitting it. Safrox is in my chat and said 4th of September is his next one that he's planning. So
4th of September.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he did pop into my stream at one stage and he did ask me if I wanted to join. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But he also said that he tried to get it as an official Glimesh event, but he was too late for the cutoff.
Yeah, it was too late for the cutoff.
So he's doing another one in what about a month? So
yeah.
Again, guys, if you're looking for for something to do with a community focus, definitely look towards Banjax and the Goose Goose Duck community stuff. So it just sounds crazy. But
it's a weird
been
game.
there and it works. So obviously there's something there. I know Blitzcraig, who's a UK streamer. I know he's got a New World event coming up on launch, which has now been put back to the
September 28th.
28th of September.
Yep.
You're correct.
Yep.
I know he's doing a giveaway for a copy of the game. I know he's also got Streamloots cards as well that make him do crazy stuff in the game.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely be checking out Blitzcraig and that on the 28th of September. Anybody else got any events?
There is an official community event from the bus ride. I'm not sure what they're doing, but
I think he's doing. I think he's doing an extra life stream, big charity stream.
Yeah,
right.
So that's scheduled for the 21st of August.
Okay.
Okay, so that's in a couple of weeks.
That's an official one.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So again, guys, make sure you're checking them out as well. Give them lots of support. Again, small platform trying to build the community. So don't be shy to get in and
and the more like small like community based things we can get, the better the platform will be. Like just getting more community engagement, getting people involved, getting like a bunch of people that, play different games to all come together and play something weird and wacky like Goose Goose Duck was like an incredible experience to kind of get a chance to actually play a game with some of the other content creators on the platform.
Yeah.
Anything else, Speed, that you're aware of at this point? Events-wise,
I'm just going through the notes from the team meeting. One thing that did interest me was that there's new merch coming soon.
I did hear about that. Yes, I did hear that in the meeting.
It was very like there's new merch coming, but we're not going to say what it is, sort of thing. So
there is a big hush around the merchandise.
Obviously.
There is a big hush.
Yeah.
Can't let too much out.
I mean, I could speculate until the cows come home.
But, I mean, I'd actually gone on the Glimesh Discord. This is like 2 weeks ago, and I had just like asked a question about different merch options, and I was just told soon. So
yes, Clone had come back and said, looking. It was. I saw that
it's like we're looking or soon or something like that. It was incredibly vague, but that's all I got. So.
Like, I hate to say it, but Clone would be an absolute shit to play poker with. He would be a shit to play poker with. He's got such a poker face on him, and he doesn't give much away. But obviously, everyone would love hats.
That's what I was asking for was a hat.
Through the Discord, a few people had asked about the Glim Drop cushions. Like, someone had asked about
plushies.
Getting Glim Drop pillows or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that could be pretty cool.
I think just basic stuff would sort of suffice for now, like either like a Glimesh branded thermocouple or a mug or stickers or hats. Just you can start off with basic things, but people are still going to buy them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously
then you could move on to like plushies and like that later, or different versions of the shirt. Buy Glimesh shirt.
Actually,
I'm not sponsored.
Hashtag not partnered.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to sidestep a little bit of the merch at the moment. I've got a couple of plans in place, and I'm actually talking with another person on the platform externally about doing some things. So from my personal point of view, forget this is not GCT, it's got nothing to do with Glimesh, this is me personally. Keep your eyes peeled for something that may come from that in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Intriguing. On the topic of merch, I know this isn't news, but I can't help myself. On the topic of merch, where are your standpoints on your own channel merch?
I don't have any.
I went down that pathway of merch, but the problem I found running merch through any of the outlets as such, it became too much to ask your community, like, to spend $40 on a t-shirt. that
Yeah.
me as the streamer is only getting $6 on. Like,
Mhm.
I get the company has to pay
Or,
for
or
it.
at most 50%.
50, yeah, well, I mean, that's the point.
At
So,
most.
again, merch on a channel, and look, take nothing away. I know there's plenty of guys. I know Kaz has got merch on his channel and stuff like that. Take nothing away from those guys. But, look, to be honest, I can't settle on my morals on that. I can't expect my guys to pay $40 thinking they're going to support me when they're actually not. Like, I just don't think it's fair on them to do that. So, and I can't settle on a logo. Like, my logo's changed like 5 times in 3 years.
Yeah.
So, like, I just can't settle on a theme
I-
and the way I want to go. So, no.
Yeah.
For me, personal merch, not so much. But for a company like Glimesh, 100%. The more they could bang out, I guarantee you, the more they could sell. And the more they could sell, the more revenue they're going to make. The more they could make, the more they'd sell. It just goes hand over fist. So,
Yeah.
again, I think personally, I mean, it's down to your individual taste and if you want to do it. If it's a company, then 100% you need to get that merch on the shelf.
I mean,
It's
for
simple
me
as that.
as a content creator, like, I'm not doing it for the money or the fame or anything like that. Like, I'm doing it to entertain people. So, like, I see no reason for me to have a merch store. Now, if someone were to approach me and like, hey, could I get like a shirt or something? Like, I'd try to find a way to work that out if they specifically were asking for that. But like, I'm not going to go out of way and be like, oh, this is the Yakes 87 store. You can buy all your Yakes stuff here. And I'm like, I don't feel the need to do that. Like, if someone wants to do it for the sake of like financially supporting me, then I can obviously post a donation link or the support button on the Glimesh site as well. Is the best way to do that. But for me, more important than the financial support is people coming into my stream and saying, hey, I had a good time. That was a fun stream. Like, that's more meaningful to me.
I told my community weeks ago, look, if you're going to sub to me, I'd rather you put that $5 that you're subbing to me, put it into the platform. Because right now, I'd rather support the platform. In a year when the platform's thriving, by all means, come and drop it back on me and do that kind of stuff. To see them come in with a gold ring around the name or even a gold name in chat means more to me than having them put $5 on my channel. So, and again, it's a personal thing. It's what they want to do for the channel, and I mean that's up, either or for that perspective, But
well, I know for myself that I wouldn't do it unless like there was overwhelming support for me to do it. Like, if everyone wanted it, then I'd consider it. But like at this stage, it's like, well, it would just be a money grab, really, and that's just it's not worth it.
Yeah,
and the amount I would sell wouldn't
cover it either.
Wouldn't cover the costs involved.
No, that's fair enough. So I'm kind of with you on that, Speed. I think you can have support, you can have subs on your channel, you can have dono links because people can drop $2, $3, but to literally have a store, you got to pay $30 or $40. I mean, that's just that's not on. Totally.
Okay, so we will have to wrap this up soon, though. So just quickly, Glimesh is now officially 1 year old.
Yay!
Congratulations,
from
Glimesh. Happy
I didn't
birthday.
get any
From
party
their,
poppers.
From their first charity stream. It was July 22nd.
July 22nd.
Was their charity stream last year.
Yep.
So
just over a year old.
so we're over a year old now, so that's pretty cool.
Happy birthday!
I guess the platform as itself is only a couple of months old since its official launch in March. But we can touch on that a bit more another day.
Sure.
There was the Building Glimesh forum. That's probably the new big ticket item right now. If you aren't aware of Building Glimesh forum, wish I had a link. If someone could put a link in,
I do
the
have
discourse,
but
into the chat, that'd be great. But we'll
in the
link
Discord
to the video anyway.
It's in the Discord.
I think that's going to be a big ticket item. It's going to be a lot better than just the random goings on in Discord. As the one thing that I was concerned about was the lack of structure. Because in Discord, anyone can post anything at any time. Things get overlooked.
Lost.
Things sort of get sorted out before other people get a chance to have a look at it. It was just chaotic, and like I even pulled out of the whole marketing sector because of it. Because it was just there was no direction. There was there was just nothing going on there. But I feel with the new discourse, it's definitely going to solve a lot of those issues. Things can get sorted out in due course and properly. Using that, there it is. Thank you.
My man doing work in the background.
Definitely go and check that out if you're interested on helping Glimesh build that platform.
And that's down from being able to like help build the code or just have a chat and try and get features
at the
forward.
Moment, I believe Clone is going to implement more of a suggestions section,
right?
Like feature suggestions like later on. Obviously, not focusing on that now, but later on, more of a suggestions thing where people can properly put in a more structured format of features,
like that question Faded had earlier about the option to block raids. Like that would be the perfect place for that when it's available.
I mean, the one that's on there now that's now been closed was about VODs, VODs / clips. But that was there were a few people that did agree on it, but Clone ended up closing that. Said he was going to open up his suggestions feature later on down the road. Obviously, because some of those topics are going to gain a lot of traction. And on that platform, you're going to be able to see which topics are gaining more traction. So you can sort of be like, okay, well, such and such feature is like top of the list. Obviously there's a ton of people that want that feature. We'll more focus on that one
and
just sort of work their way down the list. So
cool. Any game news or anything like that we need to cover off on?
I don't think.
I don't think there's much in the way of gaming news right now. Everyone knows Battlefield's coming.
There's a couple of things
like
here and there. There's the PS5 SSD blunder that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, isn't that funny?
That's
obviously, like for me personally, obviously the hot topic is all the Blizzard news right now. But on a positive note, earlier this week, Blizzard did announce they are expanding the WoW dev team, so they are hiring people on to help work on the game. So
but onto the PS5 SSD thing. Basically we're getting down to arguing about seconds at the moment, like in load times. But like I saw a video on Twitter. There was literally like 3 seconds difference between the standard SSD, a replaced SSD, and the replaced SSD with a heatsink, like with like minimal difference, really. And if that's the argument that we're fucking, if that's all they can get out of that, that's. I'm
actually sorry. You just got a compliment in my chat, mate, on your Jeff.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, the Xbox proprietary expansion card, as much as it is, a throwback to the past. It just fucking works.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It works the way it is intended to work.
Yeah.
There's other things that we can touch on at a later point. It's fine.
Yeah, another chat later on. All right. So as we wind up, we got anything, Lex? Got to touch on anything? You want to cover anything off before we wind up? And
no, nothing yet.
No, you're pretty good.
I think I'm good. I mean, we've talked about pretty much everything we intended to talk about.
I think we might have dragged a couple of them on a little bit further, but that's good. I mean, like I said,
Nope.
it is the first one, and obviously, we're starting and we're covering some bases right here. But I know there was some people in my chat. I don't know about you boys, but I know there was some people in chat saying, "Why didn't I get invited?" This has been on Twitter for the last week. We are open to having you guys on the show. We do have a Discord. It is set up.
Yeah.
If you guys do want to come involved,
I will have to set up an interest page for
Yeah.
people who are interested in joining in on.
I'm just going
on
to
the
bounce
podcast
the
itself.
Discord link into the chats, boys. Don't mind me.
Yeah, but I'm excited to have this continue on as a regular thing. We still have a lot to talk about, and the fact that this is going to be fortnightly, there's going to be even more to talk about as things go on, because naturally more information will come to be. We didn't even touch on most of what happened in the Glimesh meeting, and there's going to be another meeting soon anyway.
We've still got...
Not the next podcast, the one afterwards. We'll have
a new
cover
fresh
what
look
happened.
on what's going on. But
that's going to be fun.
I mean, one thing Clone did mention was the 20th of August. They're doing the new API. So again, check through the notes on the Glimesh feed on that. Again, we're not here to give you Glimesh news specifically. We're not here to give you features and bugs and all that kind of stuff. We're not here for that. We are literally here to give our opinion on certain features on the platform, and to basically just, kind of build the community and again, probably the next show, hopefully, we can try and have a streamer highlights time frame where we get you guys involved. We have you on the show. We bring you in at, and we ask you questions. We hit you with some questions, and you guys give us your feelings, your mutual thing. We do want to have you guys involved. This is all about the community. Today, not so much. It's about building a little bit of an interest and showing you guys that, this is what we are, this is what we're doing. This is who we are. Some of you guys might not have met Yakes, or you might not have met Speed over here, or, some of those guys may not know who I am. So, again, it's just about introducing and getting this underway.
I mean, we can talk about what we like to the moon and back.
Yeah.
We probably will, but in the end, we want to get you guys involved.
For sure.
It's this community that we want to try and support, and bring light to issues, or good things that are happening.
Again, I'd love to get Banjax involved on potentially around his events and stuff. I'd love to get him involved as well and get him on the show at some point. Again, also getting Blitz in closer to New World launch and try and get his take on a few things. So again, if you guys are planning events, don't forget Glimesh does have the events team. Make sure you email them if you are going to run an event, and try and get it organized through Glimesh. Again, let us know in the Discord that you're running an event, and would love to promote it and support it. So again, if somebody does want to come on the show and does want to be here, we are doing these, as Speed said, every 2 weeks. And it's what time US, Yakes?
8 o'clock Eastern.
8 Eastern?
Yep.
8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
And
10 a.m. Australian Eastern.
10 Eastern Australian. So again, guys, don't be shy. What we'll probably do is we might just bounce the recording, and if anyone does have any questions they can throw in chat, we might stay live a little bit. What do you guys think of that?
That sounds good.
That if we just bounce the recording there and
cut the recording there. Yep.
If anyone is in the Discord and just wants to pop in for a general chat, by all means, jump in the waiting room channel, and we'll drag you down and come and have a chat.
And for anybody watching this recording after the fact, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next one.
This will go onto YouTube as well, guys, so